Now I know it looks a bit like Jack the Ripper London, but it's actually camping in the Highlands in November. So we're on our tower. Oh, where's on our tower? Oh, here we go again. So we're on our tower campsite, which is very much our local site up here in the Highlands, isn't it? Normally the views are fantastic from up here, but we've had freezing fog for a couple of days. Now this is the campsite we'll stay on the night before we head south for our long stay in Spain. Eh?
Yeah.
And one of the good things about that campsite is toilets at the moment.
Toilets are lovely and toasty.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? You don't want to leave the toilet.
No, I can just go and sit in there.
So last video we were trying to show how we were trying to improve the insulation on the floor of the van. We've already put more insulation on the back doors and side doors and so on. And we said it was because last January, February in Spain was the coldest we'd experienced.
Oh, by far.
By far. Still great days, don't get me wrong, but it was colder, you know. And travelling home through the UK in the March was much colder. So we're trying to improve that. But there is another reason why we've suddenly started looking at insulation after owning a van for 2.5 years, you know. So we'll show you quickly where we've got to now and where we're going to leave it for this year. And then we'll tell you why we've suddenly started to look at this all again. So what we did last video is put down tinfoil insulation, and we put down the original deep pile carpets, the original fitted carpets, and we put 600 by 400 mats down on top of that. The van was considerably warmer and the road noise was considerably reduced, wasn't it? But we'd forgotten the reason we took out the original fitted carpets was because they are so deep pile that anything you put on top of them just moves around, like these 600 by 400 mats, and it didn't matter what we did. They just kept moving around, and it's really annoying. Not for a couple of days, but you know, you're long staying for a couple of months, it gets really annoying. So what we did do is put in these rubber back mats, magic mat rip-off type stuff, you know, much thinner pile, and it's still great, isn't it? I've quite often got these bumps in the audio where I've got oh God, she's away again.
See, you just shouldn't say things like that to me.
Yeah. So the other reason we've suddenly got interested in insulation after 2.5 years and therefore less energy use is because in our experience, at least in long stays in Spain, there were only 2 pricing models on the Spanish campsites. Oh, that's over 30 days staying. And one was you paid for the electricity as part of the daily rate, so the rate would be higher. And the other one was where you paid for electricity separately at the end of your stay.
We prefer to pay for the electricity in with the rate.
Yeah, because then there's no big nasty surprise at the end. But also we would use electric heating rather than gas. Now with a 27 litre underslung tank, we know that if we were using gas for heating, we would have used it all up within
about 10 days.
10 days max, you know. And that's maybe 3 or 4 hours a day of gas use. And we have said in previous videos that if you're long staying, you position your van normally in a place where it's harder to get out for privacy or for wind protection, whatever. So it's not really easy to go off site and fill up these onboard tanks, yeah?
No, it's not.
Yeah, it becomes much more difficult.
We're beginning to see a hybrid pricing structure coming in.
Yeah, and that's where you maybe get a certain amount of electricity in the daily rate, say 4 kilowatt, and then anything you use over that, you'll pay at the end. Now, it may be that other sites have been doing this for years, but we've not experienced that in a long stay, which is over 30 days. You either pay for it in the rate or you pay for it at the end. Now, anybody who uses the Axi discount book will recognise that, because this low season discount book, you get 4 kilowatts a day of electricity, but that's short stays. We've not really seen that in long stays, you know. So if you're only getting 4 kilowatts of electricity a day in the rate, what does that mean in practice? What are you going to end up with? Now, in all the years that we've toured Europe using this low season discount book, there's actually only been 2 sites that have actually checked the meter.
Yeah, and they were both in Spain. One was a May and one was a January.
Yeah, that's right. And the one in May, it was 29 degrees, so we didn't use the heating, and we had nothing extra to pay at the end of the stay, i.e. we'd use less than 4 kilowatts per day. The one in January, which was a warm January, we had the heating on maybe 4 or 5 hours a day tops, a couple of hours in the morning, 3 at night, that type of thing. And we had to pay another €2.50 per day for electricity. So it's pretty clear the heating is the issue. So this year we've got a 39 night long stay and then 15 nights on another site where we'll use Axie, and then transits up and down through Spain and so on, and the Highlands and UK. Now if you take the 39 night long stay and apply that extra €2.50 a night, you know, it's €100.
Yeah.
And that's based on the electricity prices like 3 years ago, when it cost us €2.50. Nowadays could be €150 or more, you know.
Yeah.
So obviously we want to use less electricity, and running our heating on gas would make a major difference, the major difference. So what we've done is buy this assembly off of Gasset, you know, this hose and its pass through. Now this will connect to the LPG filler on the van. We've got this 90-degree elbow, which will avoid fouling a Spanish gas bottle, and this pass through, not a regulator, because it'll use the van's regulator. Now our intention is to hire a Spanish gas bottle from the campsite. It'll be about a €50 refundable deposit, maybe €20 for the gas. Now my hope was that with this we could use the bottle gas in preference to the van's 27 litres of gas, so we could keep that in reserve for travelling up and down through the UK and Spain and so on. But apparently not. Gasset told me you can connect this up to a full tank of gas and the van's gas, but it won't do anything. It won't do anything until the van gas is empty. Now that's fine. It just means we'll use the van gas first, and we will have to go to a Spanish garage and top it off in between sites or travelling home or whatever. But that's okay. That'll save us probably, this costs us about £68. This year it'll save us probably £20 to £70, but we'll have this for the foreseeable future, of course, to use in other years. Now we have bought a Spanish gas bottle regulator as well, so we can use the same hired gas bottle to do our cooking outside if we so choose. Now running the heating on gas alone should keep us below 4 kilowatts a day, and therefore incur no extra charges, but we're looking even further ahead than that. So we have two main reasons for looking further ahead, and one of them is that we know that at least one of the main UK camping club sites is trialling pay-as-you-use electricity. Now that sounds brilliant to us, and we're a low user anyway, a relatively small unit. It would save us money if we could do that, and using less electricity obviously would be important there. The other reason is that we've toured Spain a few times on a motorbike and a tent and this van in fact, and a lot of the sites you can choose not to have electricity at all. Now it would be nice that could be €4 or €5 a night in some cases we found last September. It'd be nice not to always have to use electricity. Now longer term, probably next spring, I think we're going to change out the charge controller in the van to a better MPPT model. And I think I'll move the old charge controller to the back of the van, where we could plug in a couple of extra solar panels if we wanted, possibly a better battery. But short term, well, years ago we owned one of these Hubie 10Ks, brilliant little thing, and two 20-watt solar panels. And we took it camping in Spain with a tent and a little van we had. But unfortunately the battery life is only about 6 years according to Hubie, and sure enough this one seems to be struggling to take a charge. So what we've done is after much measuring and checking, we've bought a new one, the EcoFlow River 2, and the 60-watt solar panel to go with it. Now we tried that last night. We ran the TV off it. It's got two USB-A's, a USB-C, which is important to us, and a 3-pin plug. We've got a low wattage kettle anyway for camping. It did boil the kettle, and so on. It may run the Ramoska. We haven't tried that yet, but it'll be interesting to try it and see how it goes. So that'll about do it from us this time. It's beautiful, but it's extraordinarily cold, isn't it?
It's freezing. Yeah. There's only about another 4 or 5 units in the site.
Yeah, that's right. So we've probably got about another 1 or 2 camps before we head for Spain.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then there'll be nice sunny ones, won't they?
Hopefully.
Yeah, nice sunny ones. So have a good one. And we'll say cheerio to Cleo and Charlie and Joey as usual. So thank you very much for watching. Thanks if you subscribe. We're so grateful for that. Totally unexpected. Honestly, mind blowing for us. Take care. Bye.
Bye.